Welcome to Con Innovations Limited, and we are looking at a series. This is the next in the series, the last in the series I should say, on leadership styles and Belbin, and looking at how we can use the information from Belbin and the classifications of Belbin in terms of how we behave as people, in terms of running a team and how we respond in that team. So one of the areas we've looked at so far is leadership from the front. And we looked at the 3 skills on that. Please look at the video and understand what that's about. We've also looked at leadership from within the team and the 3 leadership styles that are there. And now we're going to look at leadership from the skills perspective. So as we said right at the beginning, which is the best leadership skill to have? Well, there isn't one. There are 9, and you choose the most appropriate, or you develop the most appropriate, given the task, given the team, for what you have to deliver. So what are the 3 leaderships that come from a skills perspective? The first one we call plant. And plants are great people to have in your team. Every one of these skills is a great person to have in your team. There isn't a deficient skill in your team, or one you want to avoid. So what is a plant? A plant is an ideas person. Plants love to throw out ideas, develop ideas, come up with another one, come up with another one. When you're working with a plant, these are your brainstormers. These are the ones that are going to be throwing things out. Now the problem with the leadership person who's a plant is they'll look at, here's option A, here's option B, here's option C, here's option D. And the team is exhausted trying to keep up because, hang on boss, we haven't even got A finished and you're already on to D, E and F. So plants need to be held back because they exhaust their team with great ideas. You can always tell when you've got a plant in your team because they'll come in and they'll talk about, hey, I was watching this film at the weekend, why can't we do that? They're always sparking ideas. If you say to a plant, that's a really rubbish idea, most people will be offended, but a plant is already thinking of the next idea. The weakness of a plant is that they will never see an idea through. So they'll fire the idea up, and then as soon as they've fired it up, they're on to the next idea because that's now somebody else's to deliver. These aren't deliver people, these are ideas people. So if you're a plant, you need to start slowing down in your ideas. If you're not a plant, then you need to find out what sparks these people up. How can we find one? How can I be one? What can I do to come up with great ideas? The second group that we come along are very similar to plant, and these are called specialists. Now, unlike a plant has probably very little deep knowledge about anything, but they just see everything as a brilliant idea. Specialists have deep rooted ideas. And these are fantastic people to have in your team. If you're stuck, you get in your specialist and they go right down and understand why. They'll drill into the problem and they'll understand what's causing that problem and why we're in the mess we're in. Now the problem with the specialist is if you've got a problem, and my problem happens to be here, but now I'm looking at developing over here because that's not my forte, it's not my mastery of subject, they are not very good at transitioning from this deep knowledge to this deep knowledge. Let me give you an example of that. You may be talking to a software engineer, and a software engineer says, oh, I am brilliant at C++, I'm brilliant at this language, I'm brilliant at that. And you'll say, well, what we need is some hardware in the PC, and immediately they will turn around and go, that's not my skill set. Even though they know how their software works, they know how it works, they know what bits and pieces they need to have to make the software work, they won't be able to run in that platform. Equally, you might be talking to somebody who's working in Microsoft and they're great in that Microsoft environment or Windows. We need to go to Linux, we need to go to Apple, we need to go to more of a mainframe base. That's not my skill set. So plants are great at having deep knowledge of where they are, not necessarily knowledge that translates into other worlds. And the last one is a completer finisher. Now what do we mean by a completer finisher? These people will not move forward on a task at 80% complete. Unless it's 100% complete, we're not ready to go. So these are your audit people, these are your document control people, these are the people that love the detail. A great way of identifying a completer finisher is to ask them, well, I'm going to go from here to here, and their first response is, oh, which route would you take? If you take this route, you'll go by here. If you go here, there'll be a nice little coffee shop just round the corner. Completer finishers, they love the detail. They love to make sure everything's in place before they can move forward, which is a great thing to have in your team. If your team is fast moving and this is your leader, the team will get frustrated. They're ready to move on. They're ready to make the charge. We haven't finished the paperwork. We haven't finished the Q&A. We haven't finished all of this stuff. Fantastic for making sure we're robust and good to go. Not so much in an area where we need to move quickly and we've got other people who can cover those bases. They won't be happy to move on in that role. So again, as we've said in other videos, we'll look at the pictures, identify which is your leadership skill. If it's not one of these, do not panic. You can develop these skills. That's the beauty of Belbin. You can develop these skills. Which skill is the best? Well, what's the task you're doing? If you need to have an ideas, you need a plan. So if you need to be in a deep knowledge environment, you need to be specialist. If you're in a detail auditing environment, you need to be completer finisher. There is no right, there is no wrong position to be in. Look at the details on the bottom of the screen. These are our contact details. Please reach out to us. We at Cotton Innovations would love to help you with your team development and do some workshops with you. Please look at all the videos. We hope you found this useful, and reach out to us if you'd like to know more. Thank you so much for contacting us, and we look forward to working with you to develop your teams. Goodbye.